Copa Mania. Caplin News gives you an inside look at Hard Rock Stadium and its first Copa America game. A close call.
She's get out of this car. You gotta get out. Kick your leg.
A couple that was vacationing in Florida tells the story of how they were saved after nearly drowning in a Sarasota flood. Technical difficulties, as two astronauts continue to have their return home delayed due to issues in Boeing's Starliner spacecraft. And grilling it up in the nation's capital.
What better backdrop for barbecue?
As DC hosts its 32nd annual Summer Barbecue Battle. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Valentina Gaspari.
And I'm Anthony Cruz. Today is Monday, June 24th, 2024.
Live from the Lee Kaplan School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
The eyes of the soccer world on South Florida after Miami-Dade hosted its first Copa America, Clash of the Tournament. South Florida is one of the cities hosting the Copa America, and last night the opening game took place between Uruguay and Panama.
I had the opportunity to attend the game, interview some players, and see how they felt post-match.
Uruguay defeated Panama at the Hard Rock Stadium, this being the opening game here in South Florida for the Copa America. Crowds came together hours before the game began, and the party continued inside the stadium. Uruguay took possession of the ball for the first half, with the first goal made by Maximiliano Araujo in just 16 minutes of the game. But the focus was more on Darwin Núñez, who kept missing goals for the entirety of the first 45 minutes. Still, Uruguayans were hopeful that another goal would come soon. As Panama tried to step up in the second half, Núñez scored a left-footed goal that would lead a 2-0 difference. Just minutes later, another goal from Uruguay, this time by Matias Viña. With seconds before the referee blew the whistle, Panamanian defender Michael Murillo scored a right-side goal that would end the game 3-1. Inter Miami star Luis Suarez was there, but he was never called into play. Instead, he subbed by the benches as his teammates took the win.
I think Panama played a good game. We knew the tools they were going to use today and the line of 5 defenders, and also looked for the long passes a little, but happy for the victory. It was important to take off on the right foot. We simply failed to specify the opportunities we had, and it's time to correct the mistakes that were made and continue.
Next game at Hard Rock is this Saturday when Argentina plays Peru. Then on July 14th, the Copa America will also be played here.
Nothing says summer quite like a barbecue. It's true here in Miami and in the nation's capital. Over the weekend, Caplin News DC reporter Laura Palfrey got in the middle of all the sizzling action.
I'm on the historic Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington, D.C., where smoky aromas and festive sounds signal the start of the 32nd annual National Barbecue Battle. For 2 days, this iconic street transforms into a barbecue lover's paradise. Let's get a taste of the action.
Started in August 1993, the giant national capital barbecue battle has grown into one of the largest and most unique food and music festivals in the country. Teams from California to Maine compete across multiple contests for the title of Giant National Barbecue Champion.
Let me tell you, this is special because you get to see people every single year who come looking for you. And so it's like almost like a barbecue reunion every year right here in D.C. And on top of that, to be sitting right in front of the nation's capital, what better backdrop for barbecue?
Attendees enjoy over 100 free food and drink samples alongside a vibrant mix of music, art, sports, and more. This event draws thousands to indulge in barbecue delights.
But the highlight will be the barbecue. We both lived in Texas, so we were like craving some good barbecue.
The Giant Barbecue Battle celebrates unity and inclusivity by raising money for charities in D.C., including the USO, Big Brothers Big Sisters, and the Capital Area Food Bank. At the end of the competition, the team Good Googly Goo Barbecue took home the title of National Barbecue Champion.
If you missed it this year, mark your calendars for next summer because the National Barbecue Battle is a must-experience event. Reporting in Washington, D.C. for Caplin News, I'm Laura Palfrey.
Today is the anniversary of the Supreme Court Dobbs decision that overturned Roe v. Wade. And as we speak, the justices are considering another landmark case regarding abortion. The case is centered around whether a federal law mandating emergency care can override state bans on the procedure. One of the most contentious topics in this year's election cycle, the Biden campaign says it will be holding more than 50 events to rally supporters around the anniversary.
And speaking about anniversaries, today is also the anniversary of the tragic collapse of a condo tower in Surfside. This morning, the town is commemorating those lost in the Champlain Tower South building collapse. Vigils started early this morning at 1:22 a.m., the exact moment that the building fell back in 2021. Family members were joined by Miami-Dade Fire Rescue and other first responders as they read the names of the 98 victims.
The search is on in Tampa this morning for whoever killed and shot Jacksonville rapper Julio Fulio. He was shot and killed yesterday morning. The rapper, whose real name is Charles Jones, was celebrating his birthday with friends and family when the shooting occurred in a hotel parking lot. 3 other people were injured. As of now, the shooting is being investigated and the shooter is still at large. The rapper was only 26 years old.
A close call. A Kentucky couple vacationing in Florida shares the story of how their lives were saved when caught under a major flood near Sarasota. Dean Ramsey was driving with his wife Shanna on June 11th through nearly a foot of rain and tried to pull off from a road with stalled cars into what he thought was land. The car was submerged in the water as retired Cincinnati Police Sergeant Mike Bell and his family looked on from their condo. Along with his wife and 3 kids, Bell was able to defuse the situation as Shanna crawled out of the car by herself. Pulling out Dean was not exactly that easy since his leg was stuck. He says that the words of encouragement from Mike's wife, Ginger, and some luck are what got him out of the car.
I said, stop, I can't. And I don't know, at that time I was just like, I don't know, I guess I'm going down with the car. And that's when she's, get out of this car, you gotta get out, kick your leg, you know. And sure enough, I started thrashing my leg around and my foot just popped out.
The families say that they have plans to reunite in the near future.
Astronauts Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams are still waiting this morning to come home after issues to Boeing's Starliner spacecraft that's caused multiple delays. The spacecraft launched to the International Space Station on June 5th and encountered issues like failure of equipment and a series of helium leaks. Officials have yet to announce a return date, but the space agency indicates that it won't be until next month.
And now going into the sports segment, the Marlins trying to pull off their 5th win in 6 games.
That's still ahead, and so is the story.
Here and there, I have quite a few things here. I would have to take everything with me.
An entire island being sacrificed to sea level rise. Don't go anywhere. Newsbreak will be back in just 2 minutes.
See us dream. See us remember. See us protest.
You matter. Your feelings matter. Your identity matters. Everything about who you are matters.
See us fight back. See us rebuild. See us shatter stereotypes. See us inspire. See us united. See us now.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
island evacuation, the nation of Panama moving an entire community to the mainland as an answer to sea level rise. The Panamanian island of Gardi Sugdub is dealing with climate change in a very different way. The government had decided to move the refugees to a new location.
As CNN's Rafael Romo reports, some locals on the island do not agree with the relocation solution.
Some 300 families have left their home on the island of Gardi Sugdub in Panama in hopes of a better future. For some, that does not seem to be the case. The Panamanian government relocated these families to the new community of Nuevo Carti on the mainland due to the rising sea levels affecting the island. CNN went to the island and spoke with locals there, and on the mainland, not all locals seem happy with this solution to climate change. Resident Brenes Garcia goes back to his home on the island every day.
This morning at 6 a.m., I crossed here. Here and there, I have quite a few things here. I would have to take everything with me.
Garcia owns a shop in Gardi Sugdub, and he tells CNN there's not enough space in the new community for his business. It would not be profitable for him to stay in Nuevo Carti. Community officials say some 32 families stayed on the island. There were no more houses left, and others decided to stay on their own. Residents of the Panamanian island tell CNN living on the mainland would affect their livelihood and lifestyle.
I'm losing fishing time because I'm not looking at the sea every day, and that's in my nature. I want to ensure that every day my family is eating fish and also yuccas, everything that is natural.
The community secretary, Augusto Walter, said that before the move, the island of Gardi Sugdub had around 1,300 inhabitants, and in some homes, up to 4 generations would live under the same roof. But conditions in the new community of Nuevo Carti do not seem to be better. Walter says that electricity and water go out sometimes for days at a time. The climate change effects will only get worse as sea levels rise. Residents of the island looked at other solutions to protect their homes. These fillings seen here on the island are built with wood and stones to prevent water from entering the houses when the tide rises.
What they told me at first was that they didn't think it was climate change. They didn't believe it. But now they are tired of drying everything, removing stones, and when the sea rises, it takes things away.
I know that in 10 or 30 years this will be noticeable, but not now. Now people think that it is not a big deal, that it's not going to happen. But yes, the sea level is going up.
Rafael Romo, CNN Atlanta.
The Marlins doing something the Florida Panthers haven't figured out how to do this morning, closing out a series on a win. The Fish had an electric start to the game. With 2 outs in the first, Jake Berger would single in Jazz Chisholm Jr. Nick Gordon would then belt a 3-run homer out of the park, and the Marlins would go up 6-0 by the bottom of the third after Jesus Sanchez nailed his own homer. The Mariners would make it interesting, but the Marlins proved to be too much. The final score was Mariners 4, Marlins 6. The Fish will travel to Kansas City next to face the Royals. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Newsbreak, and we're coming right back.
How prepared is your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking, let's go. You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes. Make a plan today.
I debate all day. It's what I do. But there are some things that are undebatable, like your mental health. I was in a dark place when my brother passed away in a car accident. I was depressed in ways I never imagined. My sisters came, my pastor, my therapist. They helped me get through it. I found that the more I spoke up, the healthier my mind became. When you love your mind, you can go so much further. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign, not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
I help our fellows design their paths as creative entrepreneurs. My experiences serving startups, creative businesses, and cultural organizations, and my journey as a queer mixed immigrant with Haitian and Arabic roots, inform the co-creative environment we foster at Radcliffe. We leverage our collective diversity to encourage the building of lifelong personal learning networks and mindsets that stimulate continuous innovation.
We here at Kaplan News are wishing good luck to the Florida Panthers, who will play Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final tonight. But for now, that's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Anthony Cruz.
I'm Valentina Gaspar. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu. And vamos, gatos!
Vamos, gatos!